Guys, I'm Master RKO, and today I'm bringing you a brand new video of from casual to competitive, and today we're talking about strats. Now, this is getting a little more advanced, so if you're still in the stages where you're watching some of the videos about aim and movement and stuff like that, you may need to continue working on that a little bit before you get into like full-on strats and strat calling and stuff like that. But for those of you who have nailed that down and are ready to learn what really makes this game tick, this video is definitely for you. So today, we're talking about mid on Dust 2. Now, fabled Dust 2. Dust 2 is everywhere. We've got the four-man squad up here, and everybody knows about this map. So there's very few secrets to this map that haven't been told, but there's some strats that are very simple to use even in silver games that I'm going to give you guys one of them here. And it's mainly used for when everything else doesn't work. So, most of the time, you're going to run two simple strats. Your first strat is going to be, we're going to come out here, run through B, someone's going to either push through here or push through here, and you're going to push A, or you're going to push B, you can push underneath, you can push long, and hope to get a pick here, and then kind of push out and go down long. And a lot of people will go down cat, but the thing about cat is, as soon as you peek this, you're exposed to mid. Like you can see right here, you can peek it there. You can even kind of hold off to the side here, just depends. And even you could hold this angle right here and wait for people to come through and then just pop them in the head. And unless you're really like all the way back and they can still hit your head, like you literally gotta be crouching and they can still hit you, as you can see. So there's a couple things that you really gotta do if you're on the terrorist side and you want to push out mid. So regardless of what I am doing, if I am pushing mid or peeking mid with an op, I'm going to throw a simple smoke. And all the smoke's going to do, I mean, you can pretty much go anywhere and just like do a little running, like a quick running smoke. And I mean, regardless, it's going to bounce somewhere in there, block all of that off. That way, if someone's pushing cat, they're a little bit blocked. And then if you really want to stop them, what I also do, because I pretty much buy full nades, I'll throw a little grenade in there. That'll bounce right here at this corner and get anyone that's here. And that will leave space for everyone to push up, and then they can kind of decide here where you want to go. And with deciding here where you want to go, this is where the opper comes in. And if you are an opper, you are going to be watching mid, waiting for the cross. But what you can do before you do that, if you spawn here, it's perfect. If you spawn here, you gotta kind of put some English on it. You can kind of like inch your way out here and kind of throw like there. And it'll still like bounce off Xbox and kind of cloud it. But there's still some spots that they might be able to peek you from if they're all the way in the back, like there. So that's something that you kind of gotta watch. If you spawn on this side, it's much easier because you're just completely guarded, so you can just throw that and then peek. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you enough time to call the cross. Because being an opper on Dust 2, whether you're on this, most of the time it's this side because you're not going to be really super peeking here unless you're on this side. This side's kind of dangerous because you're shooting uphill, there's more cover there. But what you're looking to do is see how many cross. So you're going to throw the smoke, you're going to sit here and look. Most of the time you're going to see someone peek and you can get a pretty good pick, or you're just going to count like 1, 2, 3. Usually it's not more than 3 unless it's a pistol round. If you have another aimed weapon, you can do this, but usually you only want to do it with an op because most of the time if you don't have an op, they do. So basically it's going to look something like this, especially if you're here. You're going to start with your smoke out. You're just going to immediately like come here, throw that, and then peek. 1, 2, okay, this is how many crossed. Now we make our decision. Most of the time, by the time you make that decision, you've either gotten a kill or you just at least counted and you can make your decision on where you want to go from there. So If you don't have an opper, here's another smoke that I do. It pretty much covers anything, and it's not so technical that you're doing the whole lineup and throw. But I will come here. I'm still blocked by this wall, and I will aim where it's kind of aiming, but I'll aim to make sure the end of my crosshair is against that wall, or like the opening of the door, and then just run and throw. And it'll land behind Xbox, and it'll kind of block that off, and then that's when I kind of do my little running throw there to hit anybody who's behind that corner. You can even throw a flash. That'll land in the same spot, and it'll flash anyone in CT area that's kind of peeking you. You can also throw an incendiary if you want to, and it'll kind of hit in the same place. So, simultaneously, if you're pushing cat, and remember, this is a strat, you've gone A, you get mowed down. You go B, you get mowed down. The only place to go is cat. This is how you take cat and then make your decision. So, if you are, we'll go roll at a time. So if you are an opper, you throw your smoke, you go, let's say for instance, 1 crosses. So you go, alright, 1 crossed, go B. Because now you only know that 1's there. So then you can immediately take off this way. Your team can funnel underneath. So as soon as he calls only 1 crossed, you are immediately, while the smoke is up, jumping here and going underneath. If you feel ballsy, you can have someone push out here, because as soon as that smoke clears and the grenade goes off, someone's going to be peeking this angle. So if you have 2 people and you have a team that buys utilities, what you can do is have the one person do the jump down. So you'll have like the bomb planter and everyone, you'll have usually 4, at least 3, someone might stay behind. Someone can run through there, and then what you do is you throw... Oh, that is not what you throw. I gotta change my no-clip. So what you're gonna do is you're literally just going to like come up here and like aim like right in here and do a running throw, or like not even a running, that's like a walking throw. And it's gonna completely block off CT. Now they can still op you over that smoke. So if you're pushing out through B, you gotta watch that. You still have to move fast through that doorway. They can still peek you. But you can throw that smoke if someone else has one, and then they can come out, peek here, and you don't even have to worry about them because you're still behind the smoke. So you can come out here, deal your damage, and then worry about them. You can even do it yourself. If you are down here, you can literally just like throw one right in the middle. It'll come out and bounce, smoke for yourself. Sometimes it'll be a little off, but regardless, by the time you get here, you're already around the corner. But if he calls like 1 or 2, then you're probably going to go B, so you do that, he automatically goes. If you call A, which would mean you throw the smoke, you look, 1, 2, maybe 3 cross. Now all of a sudden you have a decision. So do you go long A or do you go short A? Well, here's how you make your choice. If 3 cross, you're running here, and the main guy sees 1 there, that means 2 of them are at B and 1 is in mid, so he's going to make like a short underneath, which means that there's 2 over here, so you have your, you can have your, I guess you'd call him your lurk at this point, stay back behind. So you have 1 back there and 4 here. And you can have your 5th guy back there make his way through A as you guys push through cat. If he's not there, then that means he's like off to B somewhere if 3 crossed, and then you can just like mosey through everybody, or you can even have him hold that angle, because if there's more than that B or A and you take off everybody, he can just hold an angle and you don't have to worry about anyone crossing. You can just hold it. So the main thing of this strat is to really just use your information to your advantage. If the opper doesn't call out, you're lost. If as soon as he calls out, you don't make a decision, you're lost. Because if he calls and you're just chilling up here, you are literally chilling here, waiting for someone to push there, push through here, and push behind you. And at some point, they're going to pinch through you. So, I mean, sometimes it can work in your favor, but most of the time, if a bunch cross here, they're going to send someone through. Those guys are going to push. You might get sniped. Depends on the weaponry you have. So, as an opper, you are literally going to throw the smoke, do that, choose, and then if you called A, you're going to come through here. You still have a flash. You should at least. Throw a flash over the top. If you and most of the time you won't need to, you can just come out, pre-aim that angle. So you can just like pop out, pre-aim it. You can even pre-fire it. So you can just come out, and sometimes they'll be my pre-aims still suck, but you get the picture. If you need another flash, this is my flash. I use it all the time. I use this up here. Some people try to like throw it through the skylight. You could still flash your teammates that way. Yes, it gets everybody, but it may not. They'll see it coming, they can turn away. What I do is I'll get in this corner right here and throw it off of that. That is still going to get someone peeking there. It's still going to get someone peeking there. Yes, it won't get someone there, but if you come out, they're flashed, you do the little peek, peek, peek. No one's there. You're already kind of doing one of these. And you can kind of see that's still going to hit someone here and someone here. So it pretty much hits everybody unless they're back in that corner, which in that point, no flash is really going to hit them because by the time you get there, they're going to be unflashed anyway. And it's something that they don't really see coming because, I mean, they're not looking for that. And it lands while you're not looking at it. So you just, like, come in here, I guess, if you're going to line it up. Just kind of line up with this pillar. Do a little running. And then it flashes there, and then you just come out. Peek. Peek. Do your little checks, and you're done. It's not going to hit this guy. But even if that guy's going to see it coming out, so he can just kind of do that. You can... Doing that as a nade won't really work, so I don't really have too many nades. I mean, you can kind of like... do something like that, and that'll hit him here. Which is actually pretty decent, because if you just aim like there and throw it, it bounces, blows up here, and it'll hit this guy, and sometimes it'll hit this guy depending on where he's at. So it's a good way to pre-check that. He'll hear the dink-dinks, but it'll be too late, because if he tries to run, I mean, he's going to still get hit in the back, so it's a good way to check that door. But anyways, if you're the opper, you're going to be running through there doing that, doing all your checks. If you are not the opper, if you are, I guess we'll call him the entry fragger, which is the guy leading the charge, you will also have a smoke, so when his smoke starts to disappear, or like as it lands, he's going to be calling, you're waiting for the call, he calls it, you throw that smoke, it's going to drop down, it goes off, you throw through there, bam, come up here, you're checking all your corners, and then you're into B, or you're into A if he calls A, or you're into B if he calls B. And that's just pretty much that middle strat that if nothing's working on either site, it gives you the option to use either site. You can go mid to B, mid to A, straight to B, straight to A. You have 4 options right here at your disposal to do whatever you want, and one extra smoke can just completely change it. I mean, if you got that smoke there, and then one person does that, now all of a sudden, you don't have to watch your back, you're free to push and do whatever. You can do the same thing to the other side. A good smoke, if you don't like that and you want more protection, if maybe you keep getting picked, just lob a smoke there. Maybe not there, maybe a little deeper. Maybe something about there, or like try to get on that Xbox. I don't remember the Xbox throw, but if you can kind of get it to land around that Xbox area, it'll block off the top area. The only other thing to really go by on this strategy is if you choose to go either direction, there's a couple smokes for either side. So if you decide to, say you come here and you realize that there's still people in mid, you decide to come here instead. You get pushed out, everything's ready. A good smoke. Some people throw it off of this building, which I don't remember exactly what it is. I know if you like throw it off there. Okay, I kind of did it perfectly, I guess. But you would rather have it block off this side so they can't pre-snipe you. Because if you're on the other side and they see you come through, they can like pre-smoke you, pre-shoot you through the smoke. So you want it to kind of block off the other area. So you can kind of like, I guess you would throw it higher then. Let's see where it goes. And then by the time it comes here, yeah, that's still too far. But I mean, so you throw it lower actually. But either way, that's a smoke to block that off. No one can really see you there, and then you can kind of make your way. Because even if they do see you there, they don't know where you're going. So if someone cat gets called out, you can like hop up here and peek them and watch them come across. And that's if you're the opper coming up A. If you're the opper coming up B, or you have someone with you that still has a smoke, because chances are, if you do that call out, by the time you go, okay, 1A, 1B, chances are this guy should have his smoke ready. So you shouldn't really need it. But here's the cool thing about these strats. You only need so many people. You need one smoke for mid, and then you can have a smoke for CT, maybe another smoke for somewhere else. If you're not doing that, you have smokes for the other side. You only need 3 people. So the smoke for this side is this easy smoke right here that I always mess up. So you're going to aim like just above that hook thing and then do a running throw. That's going to block all the way out here. You can kind of peek that, but it still blocks them off. You can kind of peek that, and all you have to worry about is these guys. So you clear that off, and then clear that off. Those guys are completely cut away. So if you're sitting back here and that smoke comes down, you have no vision. You have to completely like do one of these, and by that time you're dead. So that's a good smoke. Another one that I will do is, I mean, while I'm carrying the bomb like this, I will just running throw one like that, and it'll land there. So if you want to plant for these guys, you can. Or if I'm planting back there, I will right-click one there, and that completely blocks off window. So those are just a couple smokes that you can use on B side as well if you're executing the B side. And once again, if you have a full team of smokes, so we'll finish with a recap of 5 smokes for each side that you're playing. So, smoke number 1, you will need in mid. Smoke number 2 will either be here or here. Smoke number 3 will either be here or, if you're feeling cheeky, you can, I believe you can throw one. How did I do this? I did this one time and it worked. I believe you can do that and then like there. That did not work. I don't remember how I did it. I know you can... Nope, that's the ceiling. Wait, maybe. Nope. There's one smoke could be cat if you get past here, so I guess you can just do that for your 3rd smoke if you really wanted to. So that'll block off cat, so that's 3. And then, I mean, you have free reign for your others if you're doing the A execute, or if you're doing a B execute. There's a smoke. Or you can throw that one. That'll block those off. That one's better because it blocks more off of this. I don't really know one to block off the other side just because double doors is there. I think if you're on the other side, I think you can kind of aim like... Nope. I was supposed to bounce that off of Xbox. Okay, that didn't work. Because you can kind of aim it off of Xbox and get it out here, but if you, I mean, if you just really want to just push A, you can like right-click a smoke there and then push out, and you're kind of covered. Once again, if you have an op, you can still see over top of it, so those smokes aren't completely foolproof. But those would be your fourth. So, you know, 1 in mid, 2, 3, 4, or 1 in mid, door, window, mid, and then you have one more smoke that you can do, or that you will have used, which is more along the lines of covering your back. If everyone has a smoke, you can either right-click onto Xbox, which completely blocks off the window, like completely. So, I mean, that's free reign. It blocks off that. So you have free reign here. If you come down here, it blocks off that. So that's a very powerful smoke. Or if you completely want to block a place off to keep something from pushing, so you just don't want them to get close and come around, you can throw your fifth smoke either there, or instead of right-clicking here and having it land here, I will actually bounce it off of this door. That way it lands a bit deeper so they don't completely push out through it, because if you throw it here, they're still kind of pushed, so as soon as that smoke clears, you're kind of in a duel. If it's back there, if they push out, you have the angle and you can just spray them down. So that right there is the mid strategy. This video actually ran a lot longer than I was hoping, but the smokes should definitely help. Hopefully it encourages people to buy utilities. Can't stress enough the amount of silver games I've been in that no one buys full grenades and no one buys full utilities, and I understand it costs money, but when you have so much money, it really helps. I mean, this smoke alone, if one person can buy it and do it, that smoke alone creates so many opportunities because they cannot shoot you through there. They have to push through. If you have someone like sitting here waiting for it, or they're pushing up here, they have to push through it. You can go A or B, and they have no knowledge, especially when you lob these nades and flashes in with it. You can throw that flash, and I mean, no matter what, it's not going to hit you because of where it's at. So if you get up to here, it's not going to hit you, it's going to hit them. Then you can kind of go there or there. But hopefully this encourages utilities as well as shows you the mid strategy on Dust 2. If you like this video, leave a like, and if there's any more strategies that you want to know about, or anything you'd like me to test out for a video, leave it in the comments. As always, I am Master Archeo, and I will see you guys next time. Adios.